You were at Thunder Road, Gloucester, looking at the CMX1100 Honda Rebel. It's the same size pretty much as the CMX500, and I'll explain a bit more about the detail of the bike later on, but you can see the piggyback suspension on the rear, the engine, the Africa Twin 1100 engine, LED headlights, bit fatter tyres and guards than the 500 model, new instrumentation and some new features on it. So come take a test ride and see how that goes. Feels good at the moment. I'm going to start it up and see what it sounds like and how it rides. Usual problem with the wind noise, so I just have to cut out the video volume completely, and I've also thought I'd try the narration. I've never tried it before in my videos, rather than just comments all the time. See how that works out.
I'd ridden a 500 a few years ago with a courtesy bike, and it was a bit cramped. But this is about the same size. They've moved the pegs forward a bit. They're not sort of back, not stretching backwards like a sports bike. The engine is the same as the Africa Twin, and the instrumentation is very good. Everything's there, everything you need. It's standard sort of Honda switches names, except for the modes. You can change the mode. Back down the bottom here, you can see different things, total miles, miles per gallon, elapsed time, all that sort of thing. Right? Press the mode again, and it goes up to here, and then you can select sport mode, which I don't want to use, it's a bit hairy apparently, or the rain mode, or the standard. The standard, I think, is quite fine actually, so I'm going to stay with that. What's the horn sound like? Oh yeah, a bit Honda-y, but yeah, very good. I'm quite impressed with it actually. I wouldn't change my Harley just yet, but yeah, I do like it. I do like this bike, and I would certainly consider it if I changed my Harley for any reason. I might go to a smaller bike. It is smaller. It's not a cruiser exactly. It's more of a bobber, but it could be a cruiser with the addition of the panniers, a screen. I would definitely want a screen, and hang the luggage rack on the back. Very good. I'm quite impressed. Plus, of course, it didn't sound bad, did it? For a vertical twin.
That should be, of course, a parallel twin.
I forgot to mention that it's also 6-speed. And I found the gears incredibly easy to use. They are very smooth and quite responsive in all the gear range. I just wanted to show you what it's like sitting on it. I don't know how I can position it. Probably take the helmet off again.
You can't hear me very well in this bit. I just stopped in this lay-by, give you that review earlier, and just wanted to show you the mid-mount position of the legs. Could be a little bit cramped if you've got longer legs. Having said that, I rode for about an hour and I didn't have a problem, but I wouldn't want to do a long journey. And the first part of my test ride was from Gloucester to Ledbury in Herefordshire. This is the A417, and it's got many bends, but mostly all quite sweeping and gentle. Good for getting used to the lightness of this bike. The CMX1100 is only about 220-ish kilograms. So I've seen things where it says 227 with a full tank. So it's compared to other bikes of 1000cc or more, it's very light. I found it incredibly easy to get used to this bike. It's very good handling, very responsive to the throttle, even in standard mode. In rain mode, it's a little less responsive. Sport is sort of hold on to your hat mode. Everything I've read, the reviews, says it is quite hairy. I do find the instrumentation very clear, large numbers for your the gear that you're in, and the speedometer. You've got a speedometer numerically, and you've also got a dial, digital dial for your rev counter. Very clear, very easy to read. Junction coming up for the M50, which goes from Hereford to the M5. You can get off for Ledbury, Ross, Hereford. It's probably the sharpest bend on this stretch of the A417, and it's not too bad. A nice long sweeping one at the other side of here. Here we go, round to this long lay-by where you've always got trucks parked. Really nice handling on this long sweeping bend. I could get to like this bike very much. I haven't mentioned the suspension. The rear suspension, you might have noticed on the initial walk around the bike that it has a piggyback suspension struts, and this is giving a really nice ride on the rear. I don't think it can be adjusted, but it compensates very well. It was a very comfortable ride. The seat is also comfortable. Didn't have any trouble at all on this hour-long ride, and yeah, a nice bike to ride. Welcome to Ledbury. Here we go, just approaching the roundabout. I won't go through the town. Anybody who hasn't been to Ledbury, it's quite an experience. It's a nice place. I'll be taking the left hand off this roundabout and going down the ring road until I reach another roundabout for Dimmock, and then we hit some little country roads, Herefordshire twisty turny roads. Approaching the roundabout, pub on the right hand side, and we're taking the first left off this roundabout and heading for Dimmock and then eventually Newent. It's you'll soon see the difference in the roads, where we're onto country roads now. Twisting and turning will start in a little while, but it's still a pleasure to ride this bike. I just wish I could have the opportunity to ride it with forward controls on the feet. It would make a huge difference, and I think it would increase Honda's sales of this bike enormously. So here we go. Enjoy the country ride. This is a major road for heading for Newent, so I don't know the number of it, can't remember, but it's not a bad road. So I don't need to show you all of this. I'll show you when I get to Newent. Approaching the junction in Newent where we have a turn left for Gloucester. It's a bit of a rise on this junction, so it's good testing the hill start capability of this bike. Away we go. It's very smooth, as you would expect from Honda. The gears are very easy to manage, and the clutch is incredibly light, unlike the Harley that I ride at the moment, the Sportster. So yeah, there's not a lot I don't like about this bike, to be honest. This is a junction where we join the A40 heading into Gloucester, and so it's just a dual carriageway, but I can open her up a little bit and see how she goes there. This guy was quite determined that he wasn't going to let me go past on the inside, although the bus lane does allow bikes in this section. So I thought, well, let me open up the bike and see what she does. And I just sailed past them very, very easily. It picked up very quickly, and then of course I hit the roadworks, and the guy pulled back and let me in. A little wave to say thank you. At this point, I think I'll call it a day. I'm going around this roundabout, taking the 123rd exit, heading back into Gloucester, and trundle back into Thunder Road, the Honda dealer down by the docks. And thanks. I hope you found this interesting and useful. Thanks very much. Bye for now. So just to round this off, would I change my Harley XL1200T Roadster for the CMX1100 Rebel? No, I have to be honest, not at this point. Two main reasons, three when I think about it. The forward controls on the feet, for the brake, rear brake, and the gear, of course. The I've got thicker hand grips. On the Honda there was thin hand grips, which are pretty typical of Honda, and my hands did start to ache a bit towards the end of the ride. The other thing is the shape of the tank. My knees would rub against the it's not a sharp edge, but you know it is shaped, and my knees were rubbing and started to get a bit sore. So as much as I've always loved Honda for their reliability and their performance, I will be sticking with my Harley for now. But I have to admit the CMX1100 did impress me with its engine, its smooth gears, its performance, and its agility. Very light, very nice. Okay, thank you Honda. You never know, one day I might have a Honda again.